Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Okay, looks like that's not been formatted. Alright, there we go. Much better. So, yeah, this one was a late programming, and that one that was because I was rendering Walking Wednesday and didn't have the processing power. But I did get asked if I was going to do a review today, and so it seems like here I am for that very purpose. And Josh did also request Royal Fairy Academy. Sorry, my bad. Royale Fairy Academy. I forget the E makes all the difference there. So I guess I guess here we are. Although today was going to be the day for Rare Episode 5, but I did that one already. So we've just moved a couple of things around, really, including I guess the regular scheduled programming. That has meant, however, that it seems that Blex Kid has returned. So I guess the different times and notifications means means that some people have seen these when they don't normally, which is fair enough. It's good to have you back, Blex Kid. And of course, it's good to have you, everyone else back too. Ghost Kitty and Josh particularly. So yeah. And I'd like to say that the extra time has granted me preparation for this, but not really. I'd almost entirely forgotten what happened in the last episode, apart from the stuff to do with. Turns out that one of the love interests, what happened to be a famous pop star, because of course that turned out to be the case. And then afterwards, the main character discovered that secret and now is withholding that. But I had forgotten entirely until I watched the last couple of minutes to remind myself what happened at the end of the episode, that the other one, Adrien, just so happened to turn into a dog last time, and then decided for some reason that he was curious about, the main character, so decided to sleep in her bed as the dog. And the implication from the next time was that he woke up in his human form. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to unpack. I mean, I'm especially surprised that, again, I forgot most of this stuff. Because, yeah, you think that would stand out. But yeah, for some reason, Royal Fairy Academy, I forget what happens from one episode to the next a lot of the time. And I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure if that's like something to do with, but it's like a statement on the story itself or not. It's not very easy for me to tell. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. I just have to finish up some details. Okay, here we go. All right, we're good. So, for instance, Barney get the fly swatter they got out again. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That is your bit for today, and we appreciate it. Okay, let's. Now we've gone from the bit of the day to the video of the day. So without further ado, on with the review. For once, the volume is decent on one of these. I'm not sure if I forget if that's normally the case or not, but yeah, I barely turn this down at all right now. If the voice setting blasts one's eardrums, then that will know why. Also, okay, I was thinking at first when I saw this, because whenever you click on a YouTube video, you can't pause it immediately because it's loading. So it always plays like a little bit beforehand. Yeah, but the play beforehand showed those sparkles that were on the they were like on the center. And I thought that was just to show, okay, this is like a special door of some kind, like imbued with magic. But no, it seemed like that was a consistent thing that was like a overlay filter that was kept on the screen. I'm not sure if it's deliberate or if that's just part of the filter, but it seems to have just disappeared right now. So is there perhaps an invisible person that's sneaking in and the particle affecting a way to identify them? Sort of like a Minecraft invisibility potion situation? Don't really know. Guess we'll find out. That time was a pretty good effect. Yep, there it is, of course. So, like I said last time, he was a dog before, and so he has now transformed back into his human form and seems to have not yet noticed, which means that we're probably going to get a few moments of the pair of them, or where one of them doesn't wake up, or both of them don't wake up, and Pink is going to catch them. So, I don't know. Just reliving this, might as well put the old script for the Fey Mafia. I just got for a review of this, and also because of Ghosty. Yeah, I can imagine. Those suits look a bit off. Yeah, the reason they look a bit off is because the heads are too small for gacha characters, because obviously they're not made for gacha characters. So that's why in this world they would be very off.
Ow.
Oh, they both wake up. I was wrong.
What are you doing here?
Aren't I supposed to be here? You turned me into a puppy, remember?
Okay, that doesn't mean you have to jump in bed with her.
Correction. You volunteered to drink the potion. And where were you last night? You weren't here when I came back.
Oh yeah, it was a transformation potion. They couldn't figure out how to fix it. Okay, that's why.
Do you ever stop talking? It's hurting my ears.
So tell me, did you or did you not go to the Royal Singer face-off last night?
Maybe?
I knew it! How? Did you teleport as a puppy?
I know! Isn't it amazing?
I want to learn how to teleport too.
I guess we're just skipping over this part of, him invading her privacy now. Alright, well, moving on to... moving on to teleporting puppies, then.
Don't think we
Someone's
should go
coming.
there.
What? I don't hear anything. Wait, you have hearing powers too?
Shh!
Hearing powers. Is that the case, or is it just that, she hasn't paid attention?
Adrien! Huh?
Ah, so that's what she saw. Okay, and then she, screamed and whatever.
I should...
You should go back to your room.
Yeah.
See, he has his own room. He didn't need to come into here, puppy or otherwise. That made no sense.
That's what I'm about to do. Right.
This is why I forget the story to this, because it makes no sense. My brain blocks it out to preserve my sanity.
Adrien, why were you still in that commoner's room?
What do you mean still in that commoner's room? Was he there beforehand? I forget. I've legitimately forgotten about this. Was he ever at... Josh, you probably remember this, don't you? Was he ever in her room before now?
I just transformed back.
Next time, you should choose me to be the one to look after you.
Yeah, I'll do that next time.
Really?
I apologize for
Well,
what just
everyone.
happened. We should have barged in without permission.
No, it's fine.
Although, you should lock your door next time.
Yeah, I did.
Not only did you barge in without permission, you also kicked out the person who was already in her room at that point when you had no right to do so. Let's not forget about that part.
Lock the door last night.
Were you expecting someone?
Yes. I mean, no! You see, Adrien as a puppy was missing last night, so I thought he would come back.
Wait, hold on. So he was supposed to be there then. But first of all, did she even clarify that with him? Because she seemed to be shocked that he was even in the room at all. The bed part was too much, but she seemed to be surprised that he was in her presence. So then he said, because then when he said, am I not supposed to be here because I was a puppy? It just sounded like they weren't on the same page about that. So Adrien made the decision completely by himself, but it just so happened to be the correct one, but also she denied that it was the correct one. What is happening today?
Adrien the puppy would open the door.
What was
I mean, yeah, with his opposable thumbs and everything.
I thinking?
Good thing puppies can teleport.
Anyway, would you like to have breakfast with me?
Huh?
It's okay if you don't want to.
No. I mean, yes! Yes, I'd love to. I mean, I'm pretty hungry.
I can understand about this.
I'll wait for you by the garden then.
Sure. OMG!
Okay, that was an interesting reaction. I just remember the name of the singer, Dean J. Forget which one of them was Dean J. Was it Adrien or that guy? But yeah, it seems like she's at least excited about getting the chance to. So you know what I will say? At least she seems to be developing some sort of affection or feelings for at least one of them. Namely, not the one that like jumped in bed with her, which okay. As far as the two choices, good choice between the pair of them, but it's kind of like it's really choosing a lesser of two evils here. But anyway.
Fingers, no, I'm not your baby. I can't wait for the finale. What now, Kai?
You're thinking of that? How about what happened to Adrien yesterday?
OMG, you're right. What do you know, Kai?
I don't know about anything. My lips are sealed.
So why did you bring it up
Such
then?
a tease. Come on, spill the tea. Why did Adrien turn into a puppy in the...
Okay, this is going to be like a random thing. This is not like a point for or against the video. I just noticed that those are the exact same food props that I use. Because I mentioned before, there's a lot of people just don't put food props like on a table ever. And yeah, those are definitely the ones that I've applied. So kudos for that. However, it seems like this table probably was not a good choice, and for the simple reason that it's angled towards like it's angled so the corner's pointing upwards, like the incline is towards the camera. And problem with doing that is that most props will either be angled so that they are parallel to a flat surface of a floor, or angled towards the camera because that's the way the audience are facing, which is a byproduct of stages where when they used to be like on a ramp themselves. If anyone doesn't know why the back of the stage is called upstage and the front is called downstage, because stages used to be on an incline like that for that reason, so the audience could see what was going on. In this case, the table is the antithesis of that, and as a result, looks like the food is digging into it. So that's the problem here. I think that was just a case of not picking the correct background. And it is annoying sometimes because some backgrounds, when you look at them, you think like, oh, this would be a fantastic one were it not for this particular feature. And hey, sometimes you can change those, but that table probably would have been a bit too difficult to pull off. So yeah, I would have just picked something else.
place?
It was Pink's idea.
Pink wanted to turn Adrien into a puppy.
Nope. I think that potion was meant for Rosabella.
You mean Adrien saved Rosabella? So it's true. They really are a couple.
They're...
Ah, yes, Adrien did an act of kindness for somebody. He must be dating them. This is what I never get about like this like mentality, because it always baffles me where it's that like you get people online rightfully pointing out that there's some people out there that can't see they can't see like an interaction with someone of the opposite gender as anything other than a potential to develop into something more than friends. In fact, I actually watched a video today where someone was denouncing a person who said that you can't be friends with the opposite gender because in their view, one of you will always be attracted to the other. If it's not you, it's the other person attracted to you, and that's always a play of that. But it says a lot about that particular person to think like, oh well, there's no possible way where a friendship could form even under those circumstances or otherwise. People must always by default be attracted to each other. It's like, no, not at all, not in the slightest. So but this is kind of like the opposite of that, where somebody else is kind of conveying that viewpoint. It's like, oh well, someone's being generous, it means they must be a couple. Does that mean that these two are dating because they are hanging out and having a conversation and join each other for breakfast or something? Does that count as the act of kindness that would solidify them as being in a relationship? Again, I forget who these two are, so potentially. Don't you know it's basic math? This says every day proves to me why it was good that I stuck to my principles as far as Reina and Julius went. No matter how many times people told me they should date, I was like, no, they are just best friends. Every day I get more and more proof that was the right move.
Together? Then what's she doing with Eric?
With Eric?
Yup. I saw them when I passed by the gardens looking
Whoa, you mean a girl and a guy were walking together, having a possible conversation or heading in the same direction as each other? Wow, they must be dating. In fact, what is she doing, walking and talking with him, rather than the person that saved her from a potion that she didn't even know was aimed for her? God. This series got nominated for Gacha Awards, I think. Christ.
weed at each other.
She's already cheating on Adrien?
Maybe
Hold on. Wait,
Adrien dumped her.
Adrien dumped her in dog form after taking a potion. What was that conversation like? What's that, Adrien? Oh, you mean I'm dumped? It's not me. It's not me. It's you. Well, I'm gutted, but hey, oh, Eric. Oh my goodness.
Poor Rosabella.
Pink, is it true
What is?
that Adrien dumped Rosabella? So she's into Eric now?
Hold on, wait. When did they get that impression? Because that was like a. Hold on, I need to rewind this. Okay, let's replay this part.
Poor Rosabella.
Pink, is it true?
Oh, okay. So they were just like right next to each other, so they were eavesdropping on the conversation. I was like, how on earth did they come to the same conclusion? But no, they actually did. They overheard that. Okay, fine, right.
What is?
That Adrien dumped Rosabella? So she's into Eric now? That's so unfair.
I like how we've had all these people talking about what just happened, even though we haven't seen Rosabella and Eric walking and talking together at all. It's just like, oh, I saw this thing happen. And okay, fine. This is a thing that I will say once again harkens back to stage productions, because back in the early days, well, not the early days of theatre, the mid days of theatre, that was the thing that happened a lot, where something would be reported verbally and you wouldn't happen to see it. However, it's one of the things we've actually moved away from for a particular reason. Not only that, but also in the realms of screen, it's much easier to edit that stuff before the final product than it is to form a stage production around like the idea of like collecting everything together. So it's a remnant of something that as an excuse to move away from, and absolutely should. This is also one of the things that that people point out when they analyze Shakespeare a lot. Actually, if you realize that a lot of the like major Shakespearean soliloquies are actually just the characters describing what is happening to them, with some sort of poetic license or something, where it's like, is this a dagger I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still, that kind of thing. It's like, it's literally just describing to people what's going on, presumably because they didn't have the technology, obviously, to do like a fake dagger of sorts. Either that would look very odd to like have a dagger on like a string with vines or something to like, floating in front of Macbeth's face or something. Although, fun fact, they actually put leaves and vines on like strings whenever they had to do like an effect of someone like flying or objects floating, because they didn't want to be accused of witchcraft. So that's the standard of back in the day. Just this is becoming a theater lesson with Jacob. Theater history with Jacob. That's today's video topic.
Why does she always get the most popular boys in the academy?
Ugh,
What do you mean always? She's a new student. She's bed with 2 boys. What do you mean?
not true, Ori. Where did you hear that?
I overheard
Yeah, my question. You're making me side with Pink. I'm not supposed to be siding with the bully character, but she's the only one making sense today.
Kai and Laura talking about them.
Fine, let me tell you the truth. Adrien slept in my room last night. He's so cute. I just can't resist looking after him. Besides, he saved me from turning into a puppy.
Oh,
Oh, I guess they're now trying to twist the story like the potion as to who was even the intended target. Okay.
Adrien the puppy.
Yes, Ori, what else would it be?
I mean, Adrian the human, she probably thinks is cute as well, but that's a whole other matter.
And even if he weren't a puppy, I'd be willing to watch over him.
I'm just imagining Adrian was bring over Isabella, but Adrian sounds like Blue from Blue School. That's even better! Bow, bow, bow. You're right. Things aren't working out between us. Bow, 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 bow. Anyway.
Kingdom.
I can see it now. Pink, queen of all queens.
Here comes Adrien.
Along with Eric and Rosabella.
Oh, hold on. So Adrian and Eric and Rosabella arrived together? Are they in a throuple? That is probably what the fan base will want eventually out of this series, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, sorry. I just ate.
What? Where? I've been here for a while and I didn't see you.
We ate together outside.
Ooh.
Wait, but hold on. They ate together outside, but the food is in here, right? Do they come in and collect the food without her seeing? What? What?
Good morning. Have you eaten with Mr. Thief yet? No, I ate with someone else.
What? Oh wait, was that the plan to eat with Adrian? Was that? I honestly okay. I promise next time I react to one of these, I will rewatch the previous episode because I am totally lost.
Else? Do I know this someone?
Probably. Well, I mean, actually, in this case, you fortunately do. However, the answer would be most likely no in most cases. In this case, yes, but that's a lucky guess because again, she doesn't go to the academy. She can meet any boy at all here.
Kinda.
Or girl. She just said someone. Didn't even say boy or girl. Like, good grief.
Well, it's definitely not Princess Pink, and Her Majesty is too busy for these things. So,
fair.
that leaves me with the Court Lady and Mr. Miracle. Wait, you ate with Mr. Miracle?
Nope, it was the court lady. Wrong guess.
I'm gonna be late for my class. I'll call you at lunch.
Pink, what are we doing here again? We don't have history.
God, I love this way. This is like sneaks in by the door. I will say, it is much easier to sneak up on somebody when you have silent wings. And I have pointed out in the past that one of the things I do like about this series is how they actually fly everywhere. Because that's one of my gripes with Fallen Angels is that the characters have wings, yet when they deploy them, they rarely ever use them. In this series, you rarely ever see a character where they're like on the ground at all. In fact, I guess the best friend in there, I've forgotten. She could have been on the ground, but we don't actually know that because we didn't see her feet. So who knows? She might be like 5 feet in the air. You never know.
Today.
I can't believe it. In just a few years' time, I will rule the top kingdoms.
Top kingdoms? Isn't
What?
Adrien heir to the top kingdom?
Precisely.
Hold on. Okay, top kingdoms and top kingdom. Is there like a top kingdoms classification, then one that's literally called the top kingdom? Is that how that works? Like, what are the rules here? Also, I just noticed something. That world, that map right there, it is a world map, but it is like laterally inverted. It has been flipped on the it has been flipped on the vertical axis. And I can't unsee it. It's just a backwards map of the world. Why? Was it too obvious that it was the same world as us if you had it in like the usual formation? Do you want us to think it was like a fantasy world? If so, you can probably generate one fairly easily. Just a thought. Let's talk about the concept of poly relationships. Sounds fun. I mean, it probably has, but in my experience, no, I haven't seen any examples because most of the time that's used as the source of drama. So yeah, no. What I do wonder actually, if that does happen, the thing is that in most situations, in most love triangles, the pair that are competing for the affections of the other usually don't have much interest in each other. So that's the real hurdle to jump over. I can imagine two guys, for example, the typical like two guys, one girl formation of that situation. If it's the two guys, one girl, I can imagine the two guys being like very awkward and stoic around each other, despite the fact that they would technically be together, but they are probably quite embarrassed to, let's say, embrace that in that particular instance. That could be one way to play around with that idea.
Adrien and I are meant to be.
Do you see these kingdoms, my princess?
Yes, they're in the correct order now. Why was the map inverted before then? If it's just gonna, if that's the same image, it's just not flipped this time.
Soon, each and every one will be yours. But to achieve this, you
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
must be on top of everyone. And about your friend Adrien,
What about Adrien?
Okay, this is actually quite interesting. Not the Adrien part thing here. That's whatever. But the fact that it seems like Pink here does not actually have naturally pink hair. It just seems like she has like a one random pink strip that she might be testing out right now. Or alternatively, as her magic is coming through, or as she's growing, that her hair just naturally became pink over time. Because people's hair does actually change over time. See, this is the kind of mystery that I like. It poses questions, but it doesn't make you question why you're even here. It's a thing that I always say, whereas the intention to ask questions, then it's great. But if the questions are coming from the world not making sense, that's when it becomes an issue. So yeah, and also yeah, pink and blue fairies as a common in the world. Honestly, potentially yes. And I want to learn more about this world and its logic. Well, I mean, hey, if pink and blue fairies are a common genetic trait, that might mean that, the pink and blue are tied to their genetics somehow, which might be why Princess Pink develops different hair over time. I don't know. But also hello to Treat Pop, who's not staying very long apparently, so let's make it worth a while.
Adrien is the key to unlocking all these kingdoms.
Adrien is a key?
That means you will marry Adrien.
I will marry Adrien?
Okay, two things. One, I like the way that her eyes just like expanded. Like suddenly that was like, so I guess that's like the equivalent of like going like hyperfocus or starry-eyed or something. Like the idea of like someone's pupils dilating when they see someone that they like. I guess it's a similar idea. She's going daydreaming. I like that part. In this case, what I don't like is the way that the king phrased this. Like he said to her before, like, "Oh yes, everything the light touches is our kingdom. You will rule all of this someday, as long as you stay on top of everyone." And then she's like, "Wow, I'm gonna be queen someday. What a fantastic destiny!" As long as you marry your friend Adrien, of course. Oh, sweet. Wait, what? Like, it's something like adding a proviso, like, out of nowhere. He got her hopes up that it was going to end, that all she had to do was, like, be her best self, essentially, and better than the others. And then suddenly, like, oh, wait, and also marry Adrien. Like, yeah, it feels like a misstep.
It's destiny.
Like a flamingo gaining their pink coloring due to the shrimp they eat. It is shrimp, right? I actually don't remember that, but I do know they gain the coloring over time. That's the land so much I might be misremembering that. You never know, but actually, yeah, I can honestly see either one. Or we could be getting we're getting our hopes up and it's just dyed hair, but it's fun to think of it either way.
Adrien is a prince?
That's right. He's a secret pop star and also a prince. Well, actually, no. Hold on. One was a pop star. One was a prince. It's like the Prince and the Pauper, but it's the Prince and the Pop Star. That's the thruple name. That's the thruple story. The Prince and the Pop Star. and most of the drama centers around the fact they're dating the same girl, and they have to be okay with each other. There you go.
It's so cold.
I can't feel my toes.
Me neither.
Good thing none of you use them for the most part. But hey, also another thing that I like about this is their body language right now. Like Rosabella, particularly here, the way that she's like, shrinking up into herself. Like you can imagine that wearing a skirt in cold weather, if you're not grounded to the ground, I guess, would be very uncomfortable. Not to mention as well that a natural part of homeostasis, if we're staying on the topic of science here, is vasoconstriction. So our blood vessels literally will like lower themselves or try to constrict in order to preserve our core temperature. That's what homeostasis is all about, preserving the status of the body. The opposite would be vasodilation, which is trying to expand so they get cooler. But yeah, in the case of but this is like a representation of that. So it's like trying the idea of like it's like it's the same idea behind like pulling a coat around yourself, like you're like freezing cold and you hunch over because you're preserving your body heat by making yourself your surface area much smaller, and that's what Rosabella is doing. So it seems like same DNA actually has a bizarre understanding bizarrely competent understanding of like body language and I guess some of these environmental details. Just zero concept of how to make the story make sense. Which is a shame. It goes back to the idea of like having great visuals but the writing not being a solid enough foundation. Pity, really. Anyway, and yes, I do see what you mean with the pink or blue or white wings. They are most likely a genetic trait of this world.
I expect you've all slept well. I see you've transformed back, Adrien. Rosabella has taken good care of you.
Not to mention as well, the wings actually, more often than not, don't actually entirely match like the characters' like bodies, for example. Like look at like this guy here, for example. You'd imagine that he might actually probably suit something that was like with a bit more of a warmer color, but that's not accurate to what we've seen so far. I guess that's how the wings would grow, and he's learned to, I guess, like adapt his own fashion and everything to his wings and not vice versa. So yeah, again, visuals and designs are spectacular in this series for the most part.
Games.
And I will remind people that actually last episode I did say that I wanted to at one point study one of the editing techniques that was in this video, which was how same DNA managed to make a proper pan across a room. That fascinates me to this day. But I'll get to that at some point.
It's in time for evaluation day.
Evaluation day?
Good. Your parents haven't told you. This is a special experience for every royal, so treat it as such. These colored bands represent your kingdoms. Protect them at all costs. Lose them and you fail. Each color has a matching gem hidden in...
Okay, one visual complaint that I have. These color bands, I guess when people like me who missed out on seeing those, I would have actually had it so that, you pan to, or like you cut to like a color band on like people's arms, something, they look down on them. That's what they usually would do in this situation. You've ever seen different color wings? The king with his golden wings teacher was slightly minty wings. I prefer if pink had golden wings. Well, there's a chance that she might end up getting those when she rules the kingdoms / marries Adrien, whichever one triggers that process, I suppose.
In the area. The gem is your kingdom's most prized possession. To pass this exam, each kingdom must successfully...
I know the way that he's phrasing this like they should know what their kingdom's most prized possession is, but I think this is more of a case like you're trying to, like you as the students, must imagine that this is your kingdom's most prized possession, like treat it as if it were, and that's and conduct the exam accordingly. Kind of similar to like how I guess like UA conducts exams sometimes, where it's like, yes, you're going to be fighting robots, but imagine that that they're villains or something, or that kind of thing. Or you're going to be saving these people from these situations, but they're actually, actors that the staff of UA have hired, but they're going to act like, helpless civilians. Basically that. So yeah, I can see this premise. And I'll say this as well. This is one of the few series that, even though I forgot the potion lesson existed, they actually do learn things in this school. This is an academy that actually lives up to its name. So that's another thing that I do like about this.
Find their treasures.
Do we get to choose our partners this time?
This is an individual evaluation. You may make allies, but remember, they may have their own intentions. One of you.
This is also quite a good microcosm of, I guess, the world politics that surround them. Sort of like how people do, like those world leaders summits things in schools or something for debate teams, and they have to do it like that. Again, I like where this is going, honestly.
Will have a different task. To rule all the kingdoms. To win, you must take all of the bands, or take all kingdom treasures.
Okay, this part probably is not a reflection. I might have jumped the gun on that one. Yeah, this is not a reflection of what what they should be learning, let's face it.
This first round will be a practice. The real evaluation will be held in the forest.
Now that I think about it, an actual proper advantage of having like a royal academy of sorts would be in a world where there's where the situation is that has like such political turmoil that the different kingdoms seem to be, at odds with each other, and potentially somebody decided out of nowhere to to try and tackle that so that it doesn't get taught to the next generation. And so you could have a scenario, for example, where some of the princes and princesses, or I guess probably extend that to dukes, duchesses, counts, countesses, all those people. I can imagine a situation where some of them would bring in their baggage or their prejudices of some of the other kingdoms and vice versa, and I guess the opposite, like a preconceived idea that someone would be on their side. It turns out that they're actually not. They don't actually agree with whatever's going on outside the world, or just different scenarios where they tend to be hang out as like genuine school friends outside of the turmoil that they are subjected to, or they think that they're going to inherit. Might be like a good saving grace for them. That, to me, I think would be the best royal academy situation. Because honestly, up until now, the idea of first of all, having so many royal families with kids of the exact same age as each other, bit of a coincidence. But alternatively, well, sorry, not alternatively, but in addition to that, just the idea that it's all about learning to be royals or something. That's like such a vague idea, and you have to try and think of excuses as to why they're all there, and being royals almost has nothing to do with the actual plot, because only one of them has a relevant story, namely Princess Pink in this case, or Aphmau's character in Realm Royals, which I have also blocked from my memory for the most part. Yeah, actually, you know what? If I make a Royal Academy story at some point, then I'm gonna do it like that. Or alternatively, Ghost Kid won't want to write that one down. That would also work. Don't know.
10 minutes.
Huh?
That's it?
He didn't even explain the rules. I can't.
He didn't explain the rules, but he took you outside to this unknown location and said 10 minutes and then immediately teleported away off screen. What?
I can't believe this is supposed to be an.
If you asked us to see where the fairies will have to work without the help of their wings, like a blindfold, trustful type of thing, just an example. Maybe. That being said, it seems like their flight is so ingrained into them that that they most likely would not ever be in a situation where they would need to work without their wings. Although that does raise another point. I wonder if as fairies get much older, and they maybe it's a case how when you age a certain degree, it's harder to walk or to run, or sometimes even to move in certain situations. Maybe it's like that with flight. Maybe the older the elderly generations don't fly anymore. Or alternatively, there are some people who I don't know, they've sustained some sort of accident or injury, and they're also grounded. That could be another interesting avenue to explore with this world. I don't know. That's basically with my theories. There was the idea I was saying before about the Royal Academy that's actually created to try and deal with the political turmoil of all the different kingdoms by making sure it doesn't get past the next generation and having them actually socialize with each other and have other scenarios to concern themselves with. I would go over all of it again, but it's like a long speech and I don't want to drag this video on too much.
Damn!
I should probably go. They'll all think I'm a traitor anyway.
What?
Uh,
Alright. Ah, Ghost Kitty, you might be right here. They've been grounded magically. Okay then.
We can't fly?
Rosabella, don't tell me this is how you're planning to steal our kingdoms.
What? A simple like what? A no flight spell? Is that a thing people know how to do?
Simple act like that won't work on us.
Does she also think that Rosabella just walks on the ground a lot because she's a commoner? Is that because I'm pretty sure that's not what we've seen before, but okay.
No!
Also good on her for not, rising to the occasion. Oh, okay, there's a bit of a layering issue there with the heart. What was his face doing? It was going like, ah, on the ground. Why?
yes!
It looks like his presumed girlfriend is just off on her own, which fair enough. Don't want to end up betraying anyone.
2 minutes left.
Huh? Only 2 minutes? But I haven't found my gem!
Which means that somebody else might have found it. If everyone's objective is to steal them, then they could easily just find ones that don't correspond to them and then just take them. Also remember that they don't know what shape they're going to take. They don't know whether they're a color, I suppose.
There it is!
Need help?
This would, again, normally seem pathetic to most people, but consider a society where no one has ever learned to climb trees because they wouldn't have needed to. Then, yeah, this makes sense. You would not have enough body strength to do this.
No thanks.
Okay, if you say so.
Okay, fine. I do need help.
They are allowed to form alliances, so there's nothing against this.
But how do I know I can trust you?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
30 seconds.
Oh,
Alright, could you help me?
Your wish is my command.
Oh, when he says, and when she said help, I thought she was gonna like go on his shoulders or something, or he was gonna like lift her or whatever. But no, he just climbs up and gets it himself. Okay, she's the equivalent of like a kid asking someone to help with their homework and just do it for them. Yeah, no. What roses don't even be. Well, again, I think it's to do with like the pink bands. I don't think everyone's bands like naturally match their own kingdoms necessarily. There's just like whatever color they've been assigned.
You traitor!
Ah, so it's the bands that are trying to steal, not the... And the gems. Okay, fine, sure, right. Also nice that they teleported back immediately. The 30 seconds were up. That was nice. But hey, I guess that means Adrien must have dumped her because he wasn't doing her any favors. We all know that you do someone a favors if you're dating them, so... Anyway.
So, what's the latest scoop?
We're in the same.
I also love this, the way they move like single file as they follow the teacher. It feels like, yeah, that would be like the equivalent of like how you get like kids to march in a line after, not march, but like walk in a straight line after you, being as quiet as possible. I guess it's sort of like that.
Same class. I don't know anything more than cupcake. Great. Thanks, Laura.
Excuse me?
And he's the one who's projecting.
That was you!
It was him.
Did you bring a map?
No. Why?
Yeah, why would she have brought a map? She's following the teacher back to the class.
I heard strange things happen in this forest.
What?
Don't worry.
And how would a map help you with that? First of all, it's getting dark and we were able to read it anyway. And secondly, The map would just be like, oh look, strange thing on the map right now. Like, what is that how that works? Is it like the Marauders map or something where like everything is gonna be, but instead of like people, it's just creatures or something. Like angry monster coming your way. Din 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 din. No, that's not how it works. Also, again, the teacher is right there.
As long as you stay within the boundaries, you'll be fine.
And
Unless this is a second challenge or something, which we haven't really clarified yet, have we?
I'll save you.
No way! I'm not falling for that again.
It's okay. I'll be there to save you.
How are you supposed to?
I don't know, by not betraying her potentially.
You were sleeping last round.
I won't be sleeping this time.
Was that his excuse for not having was that same his excuse for not having Eric in the scene? Are these two just incapable of sharing a scene together with Rosabella if it's not making jabs at each other?
Doubt it.
Something's different with you and Adrien.
What do you mean?
It's like you're not bickering anymore.
That's right.
I'm sorry, what do you mean? She just bickered with him like a second ago. What are you talking about? Like, you were right there.
You're not mad at me anymore, are you?
Gee, apart from the fact that, she like called him a traitor because he betrayed her like immediately afterwards, and then she called him out right now about that and was still clearly annoyed about this and is visibly annoyed right now. Yeah. Again, this is like everyone's being an idiot this episode.
Cupcake?
Except maybe
Stop
Eric.
calling me Cupcake! You know what? You should have stayed as a puppy.
Here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again, which is very different to the start of that conversation. Absolutely. Wow. Like kind of stuff. Like two boys kiss and are kissing their two dolls, making them. That's like every Garant shipper from 2015. That was why that originated, I think.
The evaluation will be held in this area of the forest. Do not go past the boundaries.
So wait, so that last bit wasn't part of the evaluation?
Pay very close attention to your surroundings, as you cannot fly away from your enemies.
Oh no, I'm totally gonna fail.
We all are.
You may
They probably shouldn't have said that if they were in the front row they're like right beside the teacher.
to prepare for your exam.
I'm excited to see some action though, at least.
This is so boring.
Okay, this is an interesting thing actually. The people in the characters in the foreground are still animated, but the ones in the background are still pretty much. So they've gone back to swap motion. I don't know what he just did there, but he clearly just shuffled over.
Thanks.
We're cold too, you know.
Yeah, and she's got a shawl for crying out loud. She probably has more like she's probably better like heated than everyone else. I got this is what they call preparing for the exam. Just taking a nap.
Oh, it'd be much hotter in here if you played for us, Eric.
Yeah, Eric. Why don't you sing for Rosa?
Emma.
Do you want me to sing?
Okay, this is way too easy considering the whole Dean J thing from last time. Like, he shouldn't be so okay with this.
Yes!
Wanna be free of this heart. Yeah.
Wanna be free of this heart, eh? That's an interesting lyric. Okay, since we've got a song, this is time for a song analysis moment. First question, of course, is this song original? Because that's always something that I am wondering about. Because it does kind of sound like it could plausibly be Eric's VA, but I'm just going to make a quick check. Okay, so Platy is Prince Eric, okay. And then the song is... Oh, no, it's Think About You by Sture Zetterberg, I think, which also might mean that we are about to enter the realms of copyright. but I don't actually know that for sure. So we're gonna play it and we're gonna see. And if it gets copyrighted, then I'll just use the remove song feature and make the audio sound terrible. So yeah, let's begin.
Feel your arms around me. I need you more, need you here, more than I would like to admit.
I mean, this is very nice that he's actually playing a song for her, but at the same time, if he doesn't want, I was gonna say if he doesn't want any rumors about him, but then again, he might be okay with that. It seems that Adrien and Rosabella are kind of towing the line in that aspect, but Eric is very much like, yeah, I know what I want this episode, because the previous ones he was really not so keen about that. Again, I really had to go back and watch episode 4 again because I'm clearly missing a lot of stuff about how these characters have changed.
Let's forget about tomorrow.
Okay, but I will say one detail that again I like is the way this is like edited in paste, because if you can see the strums, like look at his left hand, I guess, which would be our right. That's like the way that he's like strumming, it is actually in time with the music. Like it's going dun 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 like that. Yeah, it's actually it actually is synced up, which I love.
Yeah, should I hide away forever?
Of course, the right hand should be like at the top of the guitar, but that's a more difficult thing that you do with masking and yada yada yada.
Should I close my eyes and never again hold you?
Like the way he actually did close his eyes. Fair enough.
Call you mine, think about you.
Okay, I guess I think she was about to say something, right? She about to like join in with a song. Is this a duet?
Every time I remember that it's over.
Also, look at the way that she's like actually reacting to this. Like her eyes are darting all over the place. Like she's actually like, just like her head's moving for a little bit. She's not actually she's not actually like just still, or having like a pop like like that kind of thing. Like it actually feels like somebody who's having a song performed to them in front of a bunch of other people. She's appreciative of it, but she's also awkward around everyone else. That's a lot to put into the details of like how these characters move. So yeah, we can excuse the other characters being still. Yeah, sure, you can DM me afterwards. Again, you don't have to tell me the exact explanation of it if you don't want to, because I know what you're referencing. I did try to leave it as vague as possible, as far as like, or try to like leave plausible deniability. But okay, fair enough then. Yeah, well, I was gonna say I'll let you know when that stream's done, but if you're here, then you probably will. I'll message you anyway.
Yeah, you never break, you never lie, you never ever scared of the dark. So
I mean, okay, that's I don't know if that's necessarily true, but not being scared of the dark, he doesn't really know that yet. Never breaking, she absolutely has broken multiple times. Has she lied yet? Maybe not to him, apart from, I guess, kind of like a little bit of denial or something. I don't know. But hey, this is, at least so far, the lyrics are, I guess, the lyrics in this song are mostly vague enough that they can kind of fly under the radar here. So I guess that's a good song choice, but okay. All right, then.
The one who cries, I'm so afraid to be left behind.
Oh, look at the way she like actually sways as well. Okay, yeah. Like, there's only so many ways I can say I love the visuals of this, but like, honestly, yes, 100%.
I think about you a lot. It's almost like I can't.
Okay, I'm surprised that she was shocked about that. Where it's like, wait, you think about me a lot? Is that your? Is that? That's the part that got to her. None of the other bits about like like if you're wishing that he could like abandon his heart or something. Nope, just that part. Sure, cool, whatever.
Can't stop. Yeah. You never lose an argument. So I've been trying hard to pretend that I'm.
Okay, now that I get a little bit of like each of them, which again I also appreciate, because that's again that's something that I told like Aiden to with crowd reactions as far as musical numbers go. They're not essential, but they do go a long way as far as details go.
It's just a phase. And
And hey, even Adrien seems to be weirdly into it. You know, maybe he's a bit more easygoing as far as Rosabella is concerned.
everything is going just great. I think about
And I'm guessing that Pink is more so into the song and potentially Eric as well, more so than she is content that Rosabella is getting more attention from the most popular guys in school.
it's almost like I can't stop. Can't stop. Yeah.
Okay, they're still like moving and swaying together. They're a bit more in sync now. All right, as the song progresses. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Fair. Instrumentals, they're difficult to do. This is why I would have the crowd reaction personally, apart from rather than like a montage. Because this is sort of like the middle of their story arc, right? It's not like a full like compilation of what they would the journey they would undergo, because they're still undergoing it. It's not the worst thing in the world. This is where Rosie Clotty would be putting like still images or something, and Misty Firefox would put looped animation with too many overlays. This is not looped animation with the right amount of overlays, and we appreciate that.
It's almost like I can't stop.
Was that like Pony Saves the Earth or something? Wow, KW shows up when I see the word pony suddenly somewhere. That's telling sign, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Can't stop. No, no.
Eric has a golden eye, so his golden eye is just a thing for all features, or was Eric and Pink's dad the king just special? Well, it was apparently Adrien is the prince, not Eric in this case. So Eric might also be a prince, because I think when we introduced ourselves to him, he seemed to be wanting to break away from the academy, so probably like withholding his royal past, and that's going to be a reveal later. So potentially, I mean, again, if they're all royalty to some extent, he might be in line for his own throne, and that's just not on Pink's radar until I guess she has an epiphany about that or something. I don't know.
Think about you a lot.
I don't remember this visual happening, so I think this must have been just. Oh wait, is this when they were eating breakfast before? Hold on, I need to scroll back. I'm risking more. I'm risking more copyrights, but it's for a good reason. It's for a noble cause. Okay. It was like poi something, wasn't pony. Never mind. This I remember, because that was the whole like, oh yes, you're in my room. What on earth are you doing here? Blah 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 blah, blah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Can't stop.
On that scene. Okay, this one. I don't remember this one, but he did say they ate outside earlier. I thought if they were holding food or something, this would have been like the moment. Because it does seem like this is like very custom for these characters. Okay, I will say like he reached down, it seems like have his hand like teleport up to her. And I feel like he was going about it from the wrong angle if he was trying to reach over to her, but that might be because he was a bit far away position-wise, and it would have required him to just like stretch his arm otherwise. But okay. Something about Rosebella's review in episode 11 of this. Well, I mean, that's good to know that there's, more mystery, but, we're not going to speculate on that just yet. But thank you for clarifying this.
Think about you a lot. It's almost like I can't stop. I can't stop.
I like how he pushes their hair out the way, just like bounces right back. Sometimes you just can't help that. Sometimes hair is unruly. I do not speak from experience, but I know people.
I can't stop. Can't stop.
And again, swimming in time, and then like the final.
Adrien.
Okay, I wouldn't have fade out the claps fade out too quickly there. That was a bit too much. It was like, yeah. But yeah. Minor.
Why don't you sing for Pink?
Me? No, I don't sing.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is where the Dean J stuff comes in.
Come on!
I think.
You used to
I forgot who was Dean J.
all the time.
Adrien! Adrien!
All right, you're hurting my ears.
Are they? They barely started chanting. There's like almost nothing happening there. Like no one. Adrien, Adrien. Ah, the pain! Oh my goodness! Like no, come on.
Warned you. Wish that I could find.
Okay, so it was definitely unless he's faking it right now. Again, I forgot who Dean J was, but if he was the Dean J one last episode, then he's faking it right now. If it was Eric, then that makes perfect sense. But I will say also, despite the fact that like everyone is reacting, I like that they actually, minor gripe here, they reacted before he started singing. We knew the punchline already because we're trained to like think about this kind of thing. Where it's like, I'm gonna sing like this because that's but just because we know what's gonna happen doesn't mean the character should be recoiling before he actually has a note come out of his mouth. Just saying. Anyway. Where do you think Princess Belle is? I don't know. Probably off in France. Marrying the Beast at this point. Anyway. Oh, so Dean J's Adrien. So he's okay. So Dean J was Adrien. Thank you. So he was pretending right now, I guess. Which honestly, very good cover up. Okay then. Yeah, that wasn't a spoiler, by the way, Ghost Kitty, because Dean J was a previous episode. I just forgot if it was Adrien or if it was Eric who had the identity, because I know that was like a plot point from last time.
Find the words to describe you now.
I do at least appreciate the fact that the voice actor was willing to sing, because for some reason a lot of Gacha VAs just that a surprisingly small number of them are willing to sing. Like one of the reasons that we didn't make Siren Story was because there were just not enough singers. Anyway.
I am lying next to you.
Time for your evaluation. Before we begin, I repeat, do not go beyond the boundaries of this region. Any further and you may be in...
Cuckoo, this is like the people who's like, oh yes, don't press this button. See that button there? The big one. The big one in the center of the control. Do not press the button. Whatever you do, under any circumstances, no matter what anyone tells you, do not press the button. What do they think is going to happen at that point? Come on.
Grave danger. You will not be able to fly for the entire evaluation. Good luck.
Have you found yours yet?
Stay right there! I won't fall for that trick again.
That wasn't even him that did that.
I'm not a traitor.
In fact, hold on, yeah, like in the previous scene, Rosabella was talking to Adrien, who said, I'm not going to fall for your trick again because Adrien played the trick on her. And then when Eric came in and said the exact same thing, I'll help you out, she didn't respond. She was like, okay, sure, I guess that works. So now that she's thinking that, he's going to betray her somehow, considering that they barely have any clue what they're doing out here, that seems a little bit weird. Especially after the song, for crying, like, he just was playing a song for you, My inner Nathaniel here is saying that, you got to trust somebody after that happens. I mean, come on. just throwing that out there.
Isn't that...
Pink? Stay right here. I'll go check on her.
Why would she stay there?
Pink, what happened?
What do you mean what happened?
I heard you
What do you mean? What does he mean? Oh, was that a fake scream?
scream.
Oh, no.
I didn't scream. I've already got my treasure.
Oh, so they're finding more treasure again? Okay, I guess the evaluation is just, repeating the same task over and over. Alright then.
Time's up!
I don't care what you're saying, old man! I'm gonna pass the boundaries, you can't stop me! Except you probably can. My question is, if they can't fly during the evaluation, there's probably some enchantment around the area or something. So if they go out of bounds, does that mean they can suddenly recover their ability of flight? Just a question there.
Is everyone here?
Where's Rosabella?
Oh, I told her to stay put for some reason. What? Sliced in half. Okay, so reveal about Rosabella. She's dead. All right then. And I guess that's it. That's that. You know, those are the credits. All right then. So that was episode 5, and I think that it is both it is both a fantastic step forward and a horrendous step back. A fantastic step forward in the sense of the editing and visuals, because I know that I've had my my other gripes with stuff in the previous episodes regarding some of the visuals there, but this one really brought everything to it. Like the stuff that I thought might be missing, like the scene of them eating lunch together or something. I think that was covered in the song. It was being saved for dramatic effect. We had like actual people's reactions to stuff, the nuanced ideas, like someone like that's just playing along or responding to a song that was being played for them in the moment, with all of the social nuances that come in with that, and the environmental storytelling of Pink's hair being different and the questions that raises for the world. We had a couple of minor missteps, like the laterally inverted map for no reason, but I mean, come on. I've said it before in Gacha Review, the more that I nitpick something, the more that I actually do like it, because there's more because that means that in order to address any negatives or something, I'm having to look further. So as far as like visually, I would probably call this one of my favorite examples of visual editing in a gacha project, like that I have seen in my 6 years of doing gacha. On the flip side of that, let's talk about the story. Because, yeah, it seems that Eric and Rosabella seem to have patched things up, quite quickly, all things considered. They are at least making positive strides with each other, and they seem to be, almost, a healthy unit, I suppose. And a quite romantic one at that. If only we ignore the history that they've had to endure in order to get to this point. I don't think they really properly, I guess, worked through that before now. That's something that I'm not entirely sure about. But so and like everything else, it just seems like almost every single line that a character said in this episode made them like drop IQ points. Like all the stuff before was like, ah, yes, they ate breakfast together. That means they're dating. Oh no, she was walking and talking with somebody else. That means that he dumped her. Ooh, like, come on. Like, it's just that idea. Bear in mind, it was like a guy and a girl talking at that particular point. So, are they dating? It's hard to say. Like, what's counting? What's the threshold for them? My goodness. And I guess Princess Pink was out there, having her lunch with her friend. No one called her a lesbian for it, did they? Like, what are the rules? Is the real is the real question. And then of course there's the like, at least the part that I do like about the story is the setup for the evaluation, like the way that the teacher explains the lesson and the way that it's carried out. There are some quite creative lessons as far as things go here, which going from magic school, you love to see, because some magic schools just treat themselves as if they were just regular schools with nothing too mystical about them. But that misses part of the trope and why we all love it so much. So it didn't fall into that pitfall, but it fell into so many others, especially towards the beginning. Towards the end, it picked itself up, again, mostly thanks to Eric, who was one of the only actual competently written characters across the entire episode. He carried the ending there. Adrien, on the other hand, seems to, flip-flop back and forth between, seeming to be nice and, deciding that, oh yeah, I'm going to climb into somebody's bed and then I'm going to like gaslight them about why I'm there, only to find out that they actually agree with my previous statement anyway, but I'm not going to be there to confirm that. We came to the same conclusion for the same reason, but still were at each other's throats about it. No, ridiculous, awful. So it's one of those things, like, this is gonna be my case in point example from now on of amazing visuals, but that getting all the attention and not the story and characters. And I said it before, and I'll say it again multiple times. If you have to pick between visuals and storytelling in a video, always pick storytelling. Because even if you don't have good visuals, the story will keep people coming back and enjoying what's going on. Whereas if it's just the visuals, people are going to be like, great, this looks fantastic, but I don't want to be here. Like, I don't like any of these people, and none of this makes any sense. But yeah, that's I will continue to say that for as long as Gacha Review happens to endure. Or as long as this channel happens to endure, which, by the way, we're coming up on 11 years of this channel existing, by the way, which I'm going to get back to working on that stuff right after I read Ghost Kitty's comments. I'm going Navras Bella's crossed the boundaries, but because she was lured over to pass the boundaries. That makes a lot of sense. I'm going to forget all about that by the next episode, but yes, that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to go and potentially collect some ideas for my 11th anniversary special whilst DMing KW at the same time, because multitasking, I suppose. So hope everyone enjoyed that one, and please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, and subscribe if not already. And on that note,